Since the beginning of the Cuban Revolution in 1895, the Katipunan had been contemplating on the idea that a revolution was also inevitable in the Philippines. With the Cubans fighting the Spaniard in the other side of the Pacific, it would be a great advantage for the Filipino to strike as well at the same time, for it is when Spain would have divided attention and strength. The reason why Cuba revolted in Spain is dissatisfied with the corrupt and inefficient Spanish administration, lack of political representation, and high taxes. Cubans in the eastern provinces united under the wealthy planner Carlos Manuel de Cespedes. In a meeting at the Montalban Cave in April of 1896, Bonifacio and the Katipunan made a decision that the revolution had already come to pass. Andres Bonifacio first declared Philippine independence inside a cave called Pamitian in Montalban, now Rodriguez Town in Rizal. Pio Valenzuela y Alejandrino was a Filipino physician and revolutionary leader. At the age of 23, he joined the Society of Katipunan, a movement which sought the independence of Philippines from Spanish colonial rule and started the Philippine Revolution. Bonifacio simultaneously planned an attack on Manila. However, they were caught off guard as though the revolutionaries were greater in number, the Spanish authorities were more armed. According to historical accounts, Bonifacio continued with his plan despite the failure in his first attempt. The revolt flared up in the surrounding provinces, including Central Luzon, San Juan del Monte, and Southern Tagalog. After several unsuccessful revolts, rebels in Cavite finally had a taste of victory under Emilio Aguinaldo and Mariano Alvarez. The Philippine Revolution was in full swing. In June 21, 1896, after a week-long travel, Valenzuela arrived in Dapitan in order to successfully pass the securing of the inspecting officials. Valenzuela bought a long blind man named Raimundo Mata to act as a patient. Eventually, they were able to see Dr. Rizal. Because Rizal did not know who he was, Valenzuela introduced himself first. Later on, the Katipunero disclosed the true purpose of his arrival and the nature of Katipunan. At the end of the long conversation, the Rizal expressed that he did not adhere to the idea of Katipunan. The revolution dragged down the name of Rizal. He was accused of being associated with the secret militant society, charged with sedition, conspiracy, and rebellion. Rizal was sentenced to death by firing squad. At 6 a.m. of December 29, 1986, Captain Rafael Dominguez, who was designated by Governor Camilo Polavieja to take charge of all arrangement for the execution of condemned prisoner, read the death sentence to Rizal. He was informed that the manner of execution was that he was to be shot at the back by firing squad at 7 a.m. in Bagumbayan, Luneta. At 7 o'clock a.m., an hour after the reading of the death sentence, Rizal was moved to the prison chapel. It is here where he spent his last moment. His first visitors were Father Miguel Sadera Mata and Father Luis Visa. At 7:15 a.m., Rizal happily received from Visa the statue Sacred Heart of Jesus, which he carved when he was still in Ateneo. At 8 a.m., Father Antonio Rosel arrived to relieve Father Visa. Rizal invited Rosel to join him for breakfast. After breakfast, Rizal Defense Council came, who he thanked for the gallant service rendered. Father Federico Faura arrived from 12 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Rizal was left alone in his cell. He wrote his last letter to Professor Blumentritt at 3:30 p.m. Father Vicente Balaguer arrived to discuss religious matter with Rizal. Rizal, elegantly dressed in black, began his death march. Together with him was Luis Tavel de Andrade, on one side Villa Clara, and marched on the other side in front of them with their 4 advance guard with drawn bayonets. The death raffles of the drum began. Above the drum beats, the sharp commands, "Ready, aim, fire." were heard and the bullets from the four-man squad ripped through his back. Rizal, with all effort, turned his bullet-riddled body to the right and fell on the ground dead, with back flat on the grass, and face upward fronting the morning sun with half-closed eyes. It was 7:03 in the morning when he died. Rizal, aged 35 years, 5 months, and 11 days. Rizal's body went directly to the Paco Cemetery, dumped on a shallow grave without a coffin, and left without a name. There were no ceremonies of any kind. The family members were not even notified where the body was to be buried.